Whether it's Andrew Tate, Owen Cook, Hamza, or Thewizardliz, all these self-help gurus have one thing in common. They all have an almost cult-like following of loyal people who are following their every word as gospel, and who are willing to spend thousands of their hard-earned money to attain whatever knowledge these gurus claim to have. My name is Christos, and in today's discussion, I will be exposing to you exactly how these marketers achieve this larger-than-life effect that they have on their followers, while also showing you how you can use the same dark manipulation tactics in a more positive way, so that you can build a tribe of like-minded individuals who value you, respect you, and encourage you to be the best version of yourself. In the meantime, I will be developing this illustration, which I will reveal in its full glory at the end of the video. Before we get into the exact tactics that these gurus use, I would like to make it absolutely clear to you that I am not judging you if you are someone that admires or looks up to these people. Modern society is ever-changing and has become very confusing as a result, and what one should do with their lives in this ever-changing world becomes less and less obvious as the years pass us by. Especially if you're in your 20s and want to be successful, confident, find love, and actualize yourself. So many of us are lost in this ever-changing world, not knowing our place in it, and most importantly, not having an answer to the most important question in our lives. Am I enough? That's it. Beneath the search for love and intimacy and respect and financial security and purpose and physical strength and fitness lies this one question. Am I enough? Am I worthy? Did I make it? And a lot of people, in their pursuit of answering this question, they dedicate their whole lives trying to make as much money as possible, trying to get as fit as possible, trying to attract as many people as possible, all in the hope that one day, when they finally have 5 girlfriends or 5,000 likes on their Instagram post, when they finally live in a big villa with 10 supercars parked in the garage, when their muscles are as big and defined as that of the abstract masculine ideal they have in their minds, once they finally earn the fame and status and prestige and validation that the world is telling them that they should aspire for, they can finally look in the mirror with pride at the person that they see staring back at them. To some of us, that is an obvious trap. It's very clear that those things don't truly bring fulfillment or true happiness in our lives. But when you're in that lowly place and you are left holding that unanswered question in your heart, and a bold, muscular, rich man shows up on your computer screen who seems to have all the money, all the respect of everyone around him, and he speaks with authority and charisma, and he seems to live up to that abstract ideal in your mind, and he tells you that you're not a man unless you own a Bugatti and have multiple girlfriends and big muscles, who are you to refute that? So I want to make this absolutely clear to you. If you're a part of any of these communities, I don't judge you. If you know someone who is part of those communities, do not judge them. They're trying to get their question answered. That's it. And I would even say that these communities do offer some good value as well. They give hope to a lot of people and inspire them to go out there and make something of themselves. It's never going to fulfill that inner hole, of course, but it is better than just sitting in isolation, suffering in silence. So I want to make it absolutely clear that I am not villainizing these online personalities at all. I'm simply pointing out certain behaviors that they seem to exhibit that typically result in a loyal cult-like following, and how you can use those same principles and techniques to build a healthy, sustainable, active and fulfilling social life. For any of the following steps to work, the guru themselves must hone their communication skills. It's not enough to be rich, to have an abundance of dating prospects, or to be fit. In fact, I would argue that these traits are secondary to that of charisma. Being charismatic, being a powerful communicator, is way more important than even having access to whatever knowledge it is that you're selling. A good product may sell through word of mouth, maybe. But good marketing and sales skills can sell even the most mediocre of products. In other words, a guru's ability to communicate with conviction, their ability to tell a good story and move people emotionally with their presence and expression, with their confidence and power, is the most important skill one needs to develop if they are to build a cult-like following, and your favorite guru has that in spades. Of course, being able to provide proof of them being the real deal is important as well, but you'd be surprised how many online gurus exist who are extremely successful and wealthy who have never once showed any proof that they're a real authority in their respective fields. Some gurus literally woke up one day, turned on their webcam, and started proclaiming to the world that they are experts in the field of dating or money or fitness or happiness. And because they are so certain of themselves and speak with such conviction and authority, some people catch the bait. And now that some people buy into the facade, it becomes easier and easier for more and more people to bite the bait because of the law of social proof, which states that human beings are more likely to buy into an idea or a concept if they see that other people buy into that idea or concept as well. And that's how your favorite guru can go from just a few followers to thousands and eventually millions. So what can we learn from this? And how can we apply the stated principle in a healthy way in order to build your own tribe? It's pretty straightforward actually. Develop your communication and social skills. Learn how to speak with conviction, power, and authority. People respect individuals who know who they are, they know what they stand for, and who move through the world with confidence. You'd be surprised how this one principle alone can completely change your life. If you want to go deeper on this topic and develop your own personal brand of charisma, I have a video called How to Be Yourself to Attract Love and Friendship, where we flesh out and discuss this exact topic in excruciating detail. The most obvious tactic that a lot of these gurus use to attract the right following to them is identifying exactly what it is that their audience lacks and is a point of insecurity for them. That could be their lack of dating prospects, respect, financial security, physical aesthetics, etc. Once your favorite guru figures out exactly what it is that you like in your life, they will ruthlessly make you feel inferior for not having that part of your life handled, and adding fuel to the fire of your insecurities, in fact. If you're not financially stable, they'll belittle you by calling you a brokey. If you're not at the peak of physical fitness, they'll call you ugly. If you lack dating prospects, they'll poke on that as well by labeling you as being a beta male or not an action taker or not knowing the correct information or being a simp or a loser. This is actually a very common sales tactic that a lot of salespeople use to put their prospects into an emotional state of mind where they're more susceptible to being influenced to buy whatever product the salesperson is selling. I remember when I was in my early 20s, I went to the bank to activate a new account that I had recently opened with that bank. That was the sole intention of my visit. But somehow in the 10 minutes that I was there, the bank had somehow almost convinced me to buy housing insurance for the temporary accommodation that I resided in. Through my casual conversation with the banker, I had mentioned how a neighbor of mine had recently accidentally almost burned down his house because he left the stove on. And just like a shark, the assistant smelled blood in the water and immediately started to fearmonger me with the unlikely possibility of my house burning down in the case of a fire, and me losing everything that I own, and how the only way for me to prevent that from happening is by buying a specialized insurance package for it. At the time, I was already well versed with these sales tactics, so I politely refused. However, I did actually consider it for a moment, and while I was on my way home from the bank, I remember thinking to myself, damn, if I didn't know any better, I would have definitely fallen for that. This is exactly how your favorite guru does it. Identifying a need, a fear, or insecurity, and poking at it until it gets so sore that you're practically begging for whatever solution they have to sell to you. That could be a course, a premium community, or just a huge library of online content for you to consume, alongside countless of advertisements that make them money in the process, while also getting you further invested in the guru as you're spending countless hours absorbing their life philosophy. So how can we use this principle in a productive and positive way? The answer is this. Identify exactly who it is that you are trying to attract. What is it that you're looking for? What kind of friend do you want? What kind of lover? What kind of relationship? Identify it and be very specific on what it is that you want from the people in your life, and niche down your personality to specifically attract these people. If you want to be around spiritual people, then communicate like a spiritual person and be willing to alienate 90% of the people you meet in order to connect the most with the spiritual people you want to attract. Same goes if you're looking for business-minded people, creative individuals, or athletic characters. Communicate directly to the archetype that you want to attract and be completely indifferent to the rest. You might think to yourself that, okay, if the guru sells you his course or gets you invested in his library of content and you apply some of the information yourself, then you won't really need to invest any further in the guru, right? Because if the guru is a fraud and the information doesn't work, then you know he is a scammer and you just move on to something else. Or if the information does work and you do get results from it, then you don't need to further invest in the guru because you have the results. So just take what you've learned and enjoy the fruits of it. What do you need the guru for at that point? If you ever thought that, then you're absolutely right. You don't need the guru at that point, but they won't let you go that easy. The way that your favorite cult leader keeps you hooked is by poking at the original question that we discussed earlier. Am I worthy? At its essence, what this question is asking the world is, am I enough? Did I make it? Can I stop overcompensating now? And the guru makes sure that you know that the answer is a big, fat no. The way they go about doing that is by creating extremely unrealistic standards that most people will find impossible to reach in the near future. Standards such as having 10 supermodel girlfriends or owning 10 supercars and living in a villa, having the perfect relationship, being as fit as possible, having the cleanest diet, having the lowest body fat percentage along with the most body mass, having high vibration energy, and the list goes on and on. A lot of these gurus will exploit an insecure person's need to feel like he's enough by setting a super high standard for them to attain, that once they reach, only then will they finally be enough. And spoiler alert, once they do, then there'll be another standard even further along than the previous one that now they have to reach. And the only way for them to reach that higher standard is by investing further into the guru, buying more of his or her courses, by learning the elite secret way to build muscle or to gain your peers' respect or to become more attractive. This is when a lot of these gurus will also start sharing more abstract, grandiose concepts with their followers that might not even relate to the original problem that hooked their followers in the first place. Reason being is that by them talking about these vague, abstract concepts, it further solidifies the guru as someone who is so far along the journey of developing themselves in their followers' minds. In fact, they've developed themselves to such an extent that they've acquired hidden knowledge that their followers barely understand, but hope to be able to grasp once they reach the crazy high standards that the guru has set for them. It's a never-ending loop that some people can get stuck in for 10, 20, 30 years, maybe even a lifetime. This is another manipulative and unhealthy principle, but there is a very healthy counterpoint to this one as well. Develop strong boundaries. The secret to maintaining long-lasting and deep relationships with people is by maintaining a mutual respect within the relationship. This goes for romantic, platonic, and working relationships. It is absolutely essential that the people in your life know that there is a line that if they cross with you, they will no longer have you in their life. Additionally, by you having strong boundaries, you're actually creating a deep level of trust in your relationships. The moment you demonstrate to others that you will not accept certain behaviors or that you're willing to disagree with them, you're conveying that you're authentic, honest, and vulnerable as a person, and that you're not the type to people please to such an extent that you would betray yourself, hide your real feelings, thoughts, and opinions for the sake of supplicating to someone else. A lot of people pleasers really struggle to integrate this principle in their life. So if that's you, I have a discussion on this channel called Why You Need to Stop Being a People Pleaser that will greatly assist you on this journey and will open your eyes to how much you're handicapping and limiting yourself by not embracing your own individuality. I've had a few jobs in my life, as I'm sure some of you watching have as well. I typically don't like making friends with people at work, but if you stay at one place long enough, you naturally start to gravitate towards certain people while deeply despising others, as I'm sure you know. Have you noticed that whenever you make a new friend at work and you find out casually in conversation that they might despise the same people that you do, that it naturally strengthens your attachment to them? That it creates this sense of camaraderie. This is one of the most powerful tactics that a lot of gurus use to cement their followers' place in the tribe. Until the guru creates an us versus them mentality, they have not truly created a magnetic force in the community. The reason being is that the moment you define an enemy that you're all fighting against, it activates the reptilian brain's tribal instincts that result in further self-identification with the tribe. It creates a sense that your fellow tribe members are one of the few people who truly understand you and who have your back against a hostile environment. This is why a lot of your favorite gurus will villainize women or villainize men or people that are broke or people who don't share the mindsets that landed you in the tribe in the first place. It's all done deliberately to create an us versus them mentality that further roots your identity in the tribe and keeps you coming back for as long as possible. A bonus benefit of this us versus them mentality that a lot of gurus establish is that it can be used to punish the followers in the case that they decide to withdraw from the tribe. One way that this is done is with the indirect subtle implication that anyone who is not part of the tribe becomes a part of the lesser enemy tribe, or them. This is further reinforced by other members of the community who have befriended one another and aligned themselves to the guru's ideology, making it so that if you were to leave the community, you would end up losing some of your friends as a result. This is the only principle that I truly believe you can apply directly into your life without much modification. Except that instead of villainizing another person or a group of people or an ideology, you instead create situations in which you and your people have to align yourself towards solving a problem or achieving a shared goal together. If you have friends that are into fitness, go to the gym together and motivate each other to go past your limits. It could be traveling to a new country with a group of friends and having to figure out how to traverse the local social scene or the public transportation system, or simply planning the trip together. If you're a creative person, work on a big project together with your friends. These types of experiences create a magnetism within your friend group. It creates the us versus them mentality, except it's an us versus it type of mentality that serves to bring you all closer together as you solve whatever problem is in front of you. These are just some of the tactics that a lot of these online marketers and gurus use to hook, build, maintain, and profit off of their audience for as long as possible. I'm sure while you were listening to this, you could vividly picture examples of your favorite online role model employing these exact strategies and how you could creatively use them in your personal life to create powerful, positive, healthy, long-lasting friendships. Now, I would like to emphasize again that these strategies aren't necessarily bad, nor are the gurus that use them. I'm sure many of you can attest that a lot of these online personalities have given you a lot of value over the years and maybe have helped you level up in some ways. And I'm sure you're internally grateful for that. But there's also a lot of other gurus who consciously or unconsciously use these tactics to sell you a dream and profit off of your insecurities. My hope, after exposing all these techniques to you, is not to only help you build your own tribe of like-minded individuals and maintain those relationships for life, but to also make you acutely aware of how you are possibly being exploited by those you admire and potentially get you to reevaluate what it is that you're aiming to achieve by being a part of these communities. If you truly feel that investing in this guru is worthwhile, then go ahead and do so. Armed with an understanding, though, as to why you feel so magnetically pulled to them. But if there's even the slightest inkling in you that you might be getting exploited, that your guru might not have your best interest at heart, and whatever it is that you might be chasing won't bring you true fulfillment, then please take a moment to explore these feelings. Thank you so much for your time, and as promised, I revealed to you the illustration I've been working on this entire discussion in its full glory.